This may shock you, but the most productive, successful, peaceful people that I know, they don't do it all. In fact, they do almost nothing.
Let's be honest, this is what doing it all feels like. You want to be a top performer at work, a present parent. You want to hit your sales target and get to the gym 5 times a week. You want to be a supportive partner and lead that new project and keep your inbox at zero and read 20 books this year. This is the and mentality. It is the belief that success means continually and constantly adding without subtracting. But the human brain isn't built for this. It's not a multi-core processor. It's a single core processor that's terrible at switching tasks. So every time you jump from your email to that chat message to your kid to your spreadsheet, you're paying a cognitive tax and you're losing focus, energy, and time. Doing it all just means doing a lot of things badly and feeling exhausted all the time. So, what's the alternative? It's a concept I call strategic subtraction. Successful people don't have better time management, trust me. They have better boundary management. They understand the 80-20 rule, the Pareto principle. They know that 80% of the results will come from 20% of their efforts. The average person tries to do 100% of the task, and the do it all person tries to do the 120%. While the strategic person identifies that critical 20% and has the courage to ignore, delegate, or delete the other 80%. Let me tell you a real industry story. When Steve Jobs returned to Apple in 1997, the company was on the verge of bankruptcy. Why? Because they were trying to do it all. They were making different products, from printers to different versions of the Mac, the disastrous Apple Newton. Their resources were spread thin and across, and their message was really confusing at the time. So, what did Jobs do? He didn't add more, he subtracted. In a famous meeting, he drew a simple 2 by 2 grid. On the top, he wrote consumer and pro, and on the sides, he wrote desktop and portable. He pointed to it and said, "This is our product line. We will make 4 products and that's it." The world was horrified. They were cutting 70% of their products. But Job knew that to be truly great at something, you have to say no to almost everything else. The strategic subtraction saved Apple. It gave them the focus to create Mac, then the iPad, and change the world. He didn't do it all. He did what mattered. Okay, so you're not Steve Jobs, I know that, and you can't just walk into your boss's office and cancel 70% of your projects. So how do you apply this in real life? You have to learn to distinguish between your glass balls and your rubber balls. This is one of the most powerful analogies for your life. Just imagine you're juggling and you have all these balls in the air. Some of those balls are, made of rubber. If you drop one of it, it bounces back. That email that you didn't answer in 10 minutes, it's a rubber ball. That urgent meeting that you had to reschedule, it's a rubber ball. That load of laundry that you haven't put in the washing machine, it's a rubber ball. If you drop them, it's not ideal, but life goes on. But some of these balls are made of glass. If you drop a glass ball, it will be shattered, chipped, or permanently broken. So what are your glass balls? For me, it's my physical and mental health, it's my relationship with my family, it's my financial integrity. So what are your glass balls? I have to make a hard choice every day. I can stay up to 2 a.m. to perfect a presentation, or I can get my sleep. For me, sleep is a glass ball. The presentation is a rubber ball. A B plus presentation delivered by a well-rested person is 1,000 times better than a plus presentation delivered by a burnt out zombie. Doing it all is actually a fantasy that you can juggle every ball perfectly. A strategic life is knowing which two or three balls are glass and protecting them at all costs, and having the courage to let the rubber balls drop. So, this all comes down to one skill: learning to say a strategic no. Most employees think they can't say no, and they're right. Hear me out. You can't just say, no, I'm not doing that to your boss, but you can and you must. Just reframe the yes. So here's the script, write it down. The next time your boss comes to you with a urgent task, instead of just sighing and adding it to your pile or mountain of task or work to do for that day, just say, oh, thank you for this. I'm happy to make it a priority. Right now, my top three priorities are Project X, Report Y, and finishing the Q4 deck. To do this new task well, which of these three would you like me to deprioritize? This is not insubordination in any way. This is professionalism. You're not saying no. You're one, showing that you're organized. You're reminding them of the existing value you're working on. And then you're forcing them to make a strategic choice with you. 9 times out of 10, your boss will either say, oh, never mind, the new thing isn't that important. Or they will help you clear your plate. You've just protected your time, managed your expectations, and you've shown yourself to be a strategic partner and not just a task doer. So, how do you do it all? You don't. You just redefine all. What is all to you? All is not every email, is not every meeting and every task. All is your health, all is your family, all is the 20% of work that creates the 80% of value that you give. All is what will matter in 5 years and not in 5 minutes. Stop asking, how can I do it all? And start asking, what is truly worth doing? Focus on that, protect it, and give yourself the grace to let the rest go. So I want you to do this for me. Take a look at your to-do list this week. I want you to find one rubber ball, one task, one meeting, one shield that is stressing you out. And so I want you to delete it. Or maybe just put a strike on it and just term it rubber ball. Share in the comments what you're giving yourself permission to not do this week. Let's start a movement of strategic subtraction. And thanks for watching. My name is Lola and I'm the Tech HR Girl.